Randy Orton eyes up the WWE Championship.
The OG Bloodline reunite, well, for one night at least.
And Stratton cashing in.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Hello and welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And Nia Jax kicked us off by heading to the ring, the Women's Crown Jewel Championship already in there. She said she always gets what she wants, and she wants the Crown Jewel Championship, and that Liv will be on the floor crying. Liv Morgan then makes her way out with Raquel Rodriguez and of course Dirty Dom. After claiming she retired Becky Lynch and became the greatest women's world champion of all time, Liv and her cronies get in the ring and tell Jax to stop dreaming. Morgan is then interrupted by Tiffany Stratton. Stratton says that at Crown Jewel it's going to be Tiffy time. She's going to take her briefcase and cash it in, becoming the new women's world champion. I know, that's pretty like, I'm cashing it in.
I'm doing it.
Jax tells Liv that not only does she have herself to look out for, but obviously now Stratton as well. Stratton butts in, telling Nia not to get too comfortable because she could cash in on her too. Liv laughs, saying she has people around her she can trust, to which Stratton interrupts again, saying she hasn't made her decision yet, before telling both champions that they're peeing her off. Tiffany then states that she will be cashing in and taking one of their titles. She then asks Liv, "If I win your belt, does he come with me?" pointing to Dom. Then exclaims that she could do with a little dirty in her life. Clearly Ludwig Kaiser isn't stratifying enough. You see what I've done there? Yeah.
Like it.
Anyway, Stratton and Jax go to leave with Liv telling her she's had enough dirty in her life, meaning Jax. Stratton then attacks Morgan, knocking her out the ring. Morgan tells Raquel to get a referee.
We come back from the break to find Morgan and Stratton already fighting in the ring. And then outside the ring as Morgan batters her.
She did as well.
Eventually we get back in the ring where Stratton misses her tumbling elbow on Liv, who's in the corner, but doesn't miss the opportunity to powerbomb her moments later for a 2 count. A codebreaker gets Liv a 2 count. Jax then distracts the referee and kicks Stratton's briefcase into the ring. Stratton picks it up, swings at Morgan, but Morgan ducks, rolls up Stratton from behind and picks up the victory. After the match, Morgan drop kicks Jax and then hits Stratton with the briefcase. Liv goes to attack Jax again, but Jax grabs the briefcase, taking out Liv, Rodriguez and Daddy Dom before her and Stratton leave the ring.
Next up, the Street Profits with B-Fab up against Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly started well, keeping Ford in their corner, getting a 2 count in and even mocking the Profits. Wilson even getting another 2 count on Ford after a DDT. Ford finally made the tag by jumping over Pretty Deadly. Dawkins entering the ring and naturally beating up Wilson and Prince. Dawkins was then attacked from the apron by Prince, but B-Fab pulled him to the outside and slammed him. This allowed Dawkins to then get Wilson on his shoulders and tag in Ford, who hit the blockbuster and then covered Wilson for the win.
Backstage, we see Jax questioning Stratton on her cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase on her. Stratton tells her it's all a part of the plan. They then bump into Bayley and Naomi. Naomi telling Jax to keep the title warm for her.
Back from the break and we have Naomi and Bayley against Indi Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Hartwell takes control of Bayley before LeRae tags in and sends her to the outside. Like the previous men's match with Pretty Deadly, Hartwell and LeRae keep Bayley away from her corner with quick tags and moves, even knocking Naomi off the apron to prevent Bayley from making a tag. Of course though, Bayley fights them off and makes the tag, with Naomi going for the split-legged pin on LeRae, only for Hartwell to break it up. Bayley tags in but doesn't get a chance to do much as she's pushed into Naomi, who's on the apron. Naomi falls to the outside, but because the 2 women touched, the referee is counting this as a tag. Unbeknown to LeRae and Hartwell, and it would have been unbeknown to us unless Cole had told us. LeRae and Hartwell carry on beating up Bayley, with LeRae springboard moonsaulting Bayley into a cover. The ref tells Candice that Bayley's not the legal woman. See? As LeRae gets up confused, she gets reviewed by Naomi, who then covers her for the win.
Back from the ads and we have the OTC making his way down to the ring with Jimmy Uso. Big Jim tells Roman to listen to him. He asks him to squash the beef with Jay because if he doesn't, they'll lose tomorrow night to Solo's Bloodline. Reigns then holds his hand out for the mic, and as Jimmy's about to drop it in his hand, the Yeetmeister's music hits and Jey Uso makes his way out through the crowd. The music stops, but the crowd continue to sing Jay's song. Roman not looking happy. Jay tells Roman that this fight is only to get back at Solo because he cost him his championship and for messing with the family. But we ain't fixed yet, says Jay. I remember what you did to me, mentally, physically and emotionally. But we've got to show this is family above all. This go around, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm not your right hand anymore. I'm your equal. All three of us equal. If you speak or treat me with the slightest disrespect, I'm out. Act like my cousin, not my tribal chief.
Strong words.
Roman holds his hand out and Jimmy passes him the mic. Roman replies, yeet. Jimmy and the crowd go wild, and then all three men hold up their wands. The original Bloodline are seemingly back.
Backstage, we have Byron Saxton speaking with the Motor City Machine Guns. As they answer Saxton's questions, they're interrupted by A-Town Down Under. Waller asks them to come on his show, The Grayson Waller Effect, next week, to which the Machine Gunners accept.
Next up, a fatal four-way between Io Sky with Kairi Sane, Lash Legend with Jakara Jackson, Bianca Belair with Jade Cargill, and Piper Niven with Chelsea Green. I can't see this finishing clean at all. Belair and Piper brawl in the ring as Legend and Sky go at it outside the ring. Legend drops Sky on the apron as Piper deals with Belair. Legend then gets in the ring and faces off against Piper. They take each other out with a clothesline. Belair capitalises though, covering both. Sky breaks the pin on 2. Belair then tries a crossbody to the outside on Lash and Piper, but the two catch her and ram her into the crowd barrier.
When we come back from the break, we see Piper and Legend teaming up and taking out Sky. Legend chokeslams Sky with Niven following up with a senton. Lash goes for the cover, but Niven pulls her off. Lash and Niven then go at it, but neither see Belair setting up for a crossbody from the top rope. Belair takes both women out and then drops a spinebuster on Niven. We then get a massive bump as Sky drop kicks Belair off Lash and Piper's shoulders from the top rope. Sky follows this up with a Meteora on Lash and Piper before heading to the top rope. This doesn't end well though, as Piper gets Sky on her shoulders, with Belair then intervening and powerbombing Piper and Sky from the top rope.
Legend takes advantage, hitting Belair with the Lash extension and going for the cover. Green pulls her off. Jackson then attacks Green, which brings in Sane and Cargill. Legend levels Cargill and then gets her back in the ring and runs into Niven. Niven planting Legend, sentoning Sky and then hitting Belair with a Michinuki driver. Legend then clears everyone out the ring, and as she does, Cargill gets in. The two stare at one another as it's about to go down, but Jackson and Sane pull Cargill out the ring. Belair then gives Lash the KOD, but as she's about to cover her, Sky lands a moonsault on Belair, kicks her out the ring, and then covers Legend for the 1, 2, 3.
Backstage, we see Cody getting ready for his tag match. He asks Randy Orton to save a piece of Kevin Owens for him after their match at Crown Jewel. Orton doesn't think there'll be anything left of Owens for Cody to deal with. Well, if that's the case, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, replies Rhodes. Rhodes then fiddles with his boots. But as he does, Orton looks over at Cody's title and says, "Oh, I'm sure you'll think of something. Future title challenge? It's got to be in it. I think that's going to set something up for John Cena at WrestleMania." I mean, come on.
Back from the break, and we have a couple of vignettes. Andrade, Hayes, and Knight all saying that they're going to win at Crown Jewel. And then Solo Sikoa saying that he's not the bad guy, he's the tribal chief. And that after Crown Jewel, Reigns and the Usos will acknowledge him.
I think he's just misunderstood. Last match of the night, Imperium, Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser against Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Rhodes and Gunther start us off, Gunther running scared though as he tags in Kaiser and leaves the ring. Kaiser lays into Rhodes, but Rhodes turns it around by clotheslining Kaiser out the ring and then following up with a dive through the ropes. Rhodes throws Kaiser back into the ring while staring at Gunther. Back from the break, we see Gunther take a cheap shot at Rhodes, with Imperium then double-teaming Cody and taking control of the match. After Kaiser works over Rhodes with stretchers, Cody manages to get away and tag in Orton. Orton takes it to Kaiser, but Kaiser gets the tag on Gunther. Gunther enters the ring via Vintage Orton, a draping DDT, with Orton then lining up an RKO.
Gunther blocks the attempted RKO by pushing Orton away. Orton and Gunther are then down and both men just manage to tag their partners in. The bionic elbow and a Cody cutter drop Kaiser to the mat, with Cody going for crossroads. As he does, Gunther re-enters the ring and goes for Rhodes. Rhodes ducks the ring general's attack and Gunther then succumbing to an Orton RKO. Rhodes then grabs Kaiser and hits him with a crossroads before covering him for the win. As Rhodes and Orton celebrate in the ring, Kevin Owens attacks Orton from behind with a chair. Rhodes turns to confront Owens, but then Gunther grabs Rhodes from behind and locks him in a sleeper. Backstagers eventually run down, with SmackDown going off the air, with Cody still being choked by Gunther.
I think this sets things up nicely for Crown Jewel, the Morgan Jax match, especially as Stratton coming in and saying she's gonna cash it in. I think it needed that little bit more. It's like the cherry on top of the cake, because you're not always bothered about.
Yeah.
As I said, the problem with the Crown Jewel, we've said in the predictions video, is there's no storyline. It's just there's just nothing to it.
Yeah.
But with this Jax and Morgan one, there's just that little bit of spice.
Yeah.
Now that
she said she's going to.
Yeah.
Cash it.
I mean, and she did.
Yeah.
And obviously Bloodline is going to be a banger.
Of course.
Well, not according to you, because you think it's a non-starter, don't you?
I mean, yeah. And if you want to know what I said about it, you're going to have to look at our Crown Jewels predictions.
Oof. Anyway, thank you for watching.
And hopefully we'll see you for our Crown Jewel review.